Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kay, and today I have for you here is the Coleman. This is the Northstar Dual fuel lantern. You can use the white gas or unleaded gasoline. So far I had only been using this with unleaded gasoline because this is by far my favorite fuel because it is the cheapest. So anything cheap and good for me is good. All right. So first, I'm not going to talk too much about the specifications, the weight or whatever, how much fuel it will hold, one full tank, okay? I'm not doing that. You can read that on the website. You can find that all online. The only thing I want to say about is more of the pros and cons of this type of lantern so that the new user will know what to expect out of a lantern like such, okay? First off, this lantern is heavy. It's really heavy, okay? It is not the rechargeable LED lantern. This is definitely heavy, just so you know. And that is one of the cons for me. It's just too heavy, so it's not easy to hang it over maybe a tree branch. It's not going to hold too well if the branches is not strong enough. So that is something that you will have to be to take note. Okay. The next con is, let me look at my list just to make sure that I cover most of the cons first. Is I find that the refilling opening here, okay, this is the refilling point. There's a cap here. Once you remove and you try to refill it, it's a bit hard to refill because the opening is pretty small and the provided funnel is just fit very nicely, and sometimes I just don't know how to explain it here. It's just very hard because some of the air cannot escape fast enough. It is a bit of a problematic when you refill this tank. It would be nice if actually the manufacturer of this tank, this lantern, can come up with a fuel gauge so that you can easily see when you're refilling. You don't have to keep on watching, and I use a flashlight to shine into the tank so that I can gauge how much more that I need to refill it, because I had been refilling this lantern a couple of times already, not couple, many times already, but it's a pain because if not, it will just start to overflow and it's going to create a mess. So usually I just refill this thing outdoor. But I still be careful not to have too much of spillage because it's not that it's dangerous, just that I don't want to waste unnecessarily. So that is, for now, it is what it is. It will be nice if you have a fuel gauge so that it helps the refilling process. And the next thing I want to cover will be, yes, this is definitely not recommended for indoor use. It is, yeah, it does produce quite a lot of fumes and it does smell. And I actually tried in one of my TP10. It's called the Megahorn TP10. I had it running for about 15 minutes in the tent where I have all the, it's all zip up, and the tent, on the top of the tent there's an opening, but that's still not enough ventilation. And after about 15 minutes to 20, I'm not too sure, maybe a bit longer, but I start to feel that, my eyes start to feel teary eyes, one thing, and it's not comfortable, and I know that is a sign of some kind of a danger. And yes, the carbon monoxide detector will not pick it up because it just, the level is low, but myself personally, I can feel that I don't feel comfortable already, and my eyes already start to sting and tear. So be careful there and not to use this indoor or also in the enclosed tent, okay? Just make sure don't do that. The next thing is, oh yeah, the rub. I just showed you the lantern earlier. So look, this one doesn't have the rubber base that is right now on this stove, but it actually came with the base. The reason I took it off is I'm going to show you why very quickly. Let me just put the things away. Because I bought a carry case. This is the carry case. Okay, that's the base. That actually clips down here, okay? I'm just going to show you what's the problem. Okay, look, this is where the stove, the base, the lantern will sit on. But with the rubber base, it is not going to fit in there because it's too big. So now it's sitting on top of the, look, it's sitting on top of this plastic base. Okay, so you cannot put back the cover here. It will not clip on because the lantern sits too tall. So I removed this. And the next thing about this rubber base is it is extremely difficult to put on or to take it off. So at the moment, I just leave it off because it is stable enough for my usage. Okay, it's good enough. It actually is stable enough, so I just leave it out for now. I will hope the manufacturer actually can think of a clever way to be able to have this rubber base easily remove or put on, because at the moment you will have to, okay, just before I go on, if any of my viewer know how to easily put this thing on or remove, let me know, because at the moment I have to remove the whole unit here, the globe and the cage, the gut, I mean the gut and the glass globe, you know, the whole thing you have to remove, and then you can put the rubber base on or off. That is a pain, okay? Well, so the next thing I want to cover here is the, during warmer months, this lantern attracts a lot of bugs. They are just flying around the lantern so much, and then of course somehow they will find the opening. They will fly into the opening and then get themselves killed in there and create a mess in the lantern, and it's just disgusting to look at, one thing. And then the other thing is the bigger bugs, like certain bigger moths, they somehow manage to get into it. If they hit your mantle, they actually can create a small holes, and eventually it will destroy your mantle prematurely. So that is one downside of the this lantern, because of the opening that bugs can fly into. So that, just so that you know. Okay, the next thing is, yes, the globe. These are glass globe, very nice glass globe, I must say. It has the you can see there's a print on the globe. It's really nice, but it will break if you drop it, especially when you wash it. You'll be careful, okay? Because if you break this globe, it's about $30 for replacement. It's not cheap. It is expensive. So the next thing is, this thing is really noisy. So if you are very used to using the LED or the rechargeable type, so, or the battery operated lantern, then this is not for you, because I will have to tell you it is noisy. And lastly, the runtime for this is about 4 to 5 hours on high. I can get about 6 hours or 6.5, because sometimes I set my level it's not always on high, so it's very hard for me to tell you on high how long it will last for another gasoline, but I can tell you it can easily last for 6 hours or slightly more depending on your settings. Okay, lastly, what I like about this lantern is it brings back a lot of childhood memories. When I was a kid, I see a lot of lantern like this. Okay, it's always when I can imagine, not imagine, it brings back that memories where I can see a whole stretch of stores, the push cuts type of stores. They were all having this kind of a kerosene lantern, but this is not kerosene, but that time they were using all just kerosene, and they were also a pain to start up, to light it up. This one is a lot easier, and I can show you a demonstration later, but for now, the next Pro, I will just say yes, it's a great hand warmer during cold weather, because the cap here, the top here, actually produces a lot of heat, so it's good for frozen hands. I can tell you, can tell you how nice it was when I was feeling so cold during certain nights. I had my hand over it. I can tell you, it just instantly warm up my hand so much. Yeah, that is just the few pros for me, because otherwise I can tell you it's not good for backpacking, definitely not. So there's a lot of, you can see there are a lot of cons, but why I'm still picking this up, because it brings back a lot of good memories for me, so that's why. All right, the next part of the video will be just to show you the lighting up bit. All right, let me get my camera set up for you. Okay, this is already having pumped up already, so I just show you. There's this red switch here. That's the igniter switch. So you just press and hold and turn on the fuel. See? There you go. It's on. Just let it burn and then warm up the generator, and then the flame will be gone. At the moment, I can still see a lot of yellow flame. Yep, the yellow flame is gone, and now the lantern is ready. During colder season, it will take a lot longer to preheat the generator, but otherwise I can tell you this is a very nice lantern to use for outdoor during cold nights, cold weather, because it can warm your hand. You can see I can feel the heat coming off this thing already. It's so nice. All right, if you guys have questions for me, just put down in the comment area, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, if you do like what I do for this video, give me the thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more videos that I'll be putting up, and you will like to be notified. So remember to subscribe, turn on the notification bell. All right, you guys have a great day and take care. Bye.